How do I make my combats fun? That's a deep question. It's not like combats aren't fun because you didn't use enough orcs. That's not usually the answer. The most common answer, we talked about stakes earlier, and how if you don't define stakes, the default stakes for your combats are death. And what often happens is a lot of dungeon masters will run those stakes so often that they get numb and boring because they're the same thing over and over and over again. And easy solution, try adding new stakes to your game. Instead of fighting to the death, what if the monsters are just trying to steal money from the players and then they leave? The players are trying to stop that. That's a completely different situation than fighting to the death. What if the monsters are just hungry and they're just after your food? Same story, you know? Maybe they might not even be interested in eating the players. They might just be interested in stealing their food and then running away. Different stakes. That makes the game exciting again. What if the monsters are interested in completing some sort of objective, like they're trying to lock up a room and the players need to stop them from doing that? Different stakes. Suddenly the game has new life in it. That helps. Now, it's not the only reason for a combat not to be fun. There's pacing, there's challenge, there's building combats in a way that have mechanical symphony with the players. So, for example, if your players have a lot of anti-magic abilities, like if someone has Mage Slayer, if the wizard has Counterspell, if the bard has Silence, the Silence spell, and if the rogue is like talking all the time about how I really want to stab some wizards, it's a good idea to, put some magic in your combats for the players to use their abilities, and don't just like throw them a bunch. Just like, this wizard is here to die. Like, this wizard is to get stabbed by the Mage Slayer. Really, really develop the combat so that it becomes clear that the person who took Mage Slayer really saved the party a lot of stress, because without it, a lot of people would have gotten fireballed, or a lot of people would have gotten spirit guardianed, or I don't know. If your players have strengths, sometimes play to them. Shoot the monk. Sometimes you need to do that. That's an important factor. Challenge is a moving target. Hard to get. You still got to try. If you're not trying, those combats are going to turn into cutscenes. That's just no good. There's a lot of things that make combat fun for me. And I'm more of a dungeon master that enjoys the story being told by the combat. So it's important that the players are fighting something that either builds upon the main antagonist, the main big bad evil, the BBEG, or sort of a remnant of the BBEG, such that, like, here's some zombies. They're in a crypt. You're fighting them. The zombies, you're expected to beat them, but you learn that they are there because the BBEG did a thing and they're a consequence of that thing. They're evidence. This is an element that you can use to turn combat into a story. That's what I find fun. And I know that I am not everybody. I know there are other people who find combat is a fun opportunity to try and challenge your players with, this guy has a special ability and now magic doesn't work in this cone. This guy has magic and now one of your party is now working against you. They've been charmed and now they're an enemy and you have to deal with that. This guy has an aura that makes everyone slow, or they make a wall and they cut off the party in half and now you've got 2 fights happening and good luck, deal with that. That kind of stuff, also important. That kind of stuff some people find fun, and that's important.